Welcome to episode 38 of Basics and Beyond the podcast. I'm Coach Laura. So happy to have you here today. Today, we are going to jump into 5 simple ways to regulate your nervous system and help yourself be calm in the chaos of this holiday season. But not only in the holiday season, these are 5 simple strategies you can take with you every single day of the year to feel more authentic, to feel more alive, and to feel more calm. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Basics and Beyond the podcast. I am Coach Laura, your host, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. We are fast approaching the holiday season. Well, in fact, some of us are in the middle of it, as well as a brand new year. And oftentimes, when we come to this time and place, we look back on the year, we look forward to the next year, and there are a lot of emotions that come up. And not only that, it's really stressful, if you like to use that word, because of all the things that are happening right now. In this time of kind of reflection and looking forward, we're also stuck in this space of, I have to get all the things done. And is everything going to be perfect? We tend to float into this space of perfection. I know my sister is having a huge gathering at her house this year. It's her first year hosting. And there is so much talk around, cleaning and getting everything perfect and having the right food. And she messaged me, the oven is on and the cookies are baking and all the things are happening at once. And we can feel this huge stress. Now, I don't like to use that word. I personally don't connect with the word stress at all. I think it's overused. I think that we have become very disconnected from it. It has become something that doesn't have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? It just doesn't have a lot of meaning for most of us anymore. Oh, I'm stressed. Oh, I'm not stressed. Are you stressed? How are you stressed? How are things going? Are you stressed? And it just becomes that, how people say, oh, how are you doing? And people go, I'm fine. It's the same kind of thing, right? We have disconnected from it. We've used it too much. So let's think a little bit more deeply about what we're really asking and what we're really feeling. That is extremely important for us to understand, particularly now, when things are crazy and everyone's like, oh, it's just this time of year. Most times, if our lives are on the little bit of crazy side, even during the holiday season, they're probably that way most days. So instead of asking ourselves, are we stressed? What is that like? It's important to really dig in a little bit when we have the time. I'm not saying you always have the time to do this, but here are some things to think about. And I came to this really quite naturally at one point and quickly. It was very abrupt for me to figure out that the word stress doesn't fit for me, and it was moving me nowhere. I was making no progress in my health journey, in my mental health journey, to think about life in terms of that word. I had a coach, oh gosh, it was probably 8 years now ago, who used to ask me about my stress all the time. It was very natural to ask about that. And that was great. I love that. I was like, wow, I'm getting a great, service here. My coach is doing a great job asking me how I'm doing, like stress-wise, because most people are like macros and movement, and that's it. So I felt very blessed until one day we were talking and I realized I kept answering the same way. I'm fine. I'm not stressed. I'm fine. I'm not stressed. I'm fine. And he asked a different question and I went, oh, hang on. And it was a giant light bulb moment for me. Now, I love light bulb moments. I really do, especially when it comes to my clients. But the light bulb moment is never a moment. It's never a moment. It's always a whole bunch of moments stacked together until all of a sudden it happens, right? But it's a lot of thought and time and energy before then. I realized in that aha moment that stress, the word, didn't work for me. When I am, quote, stressed, as we would define stress, I am actually feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling under a lot of pressure. And most of that pressure is on myself. I'm feeling like life is chaotic. How do I feel it in my body, which is really important. In my body, I can feel my heart racing. It's hard for me to catch my breath. I feel like I constantly have to be moving. I kind of feel a little bit raw. My skin kind of feels tingly, like, ooh, I have to be doing something. That's when I know mentally and physically in my body and in my mind that I'm under a bit of stress. And my bit of stress, I mean, I'm kind of being a little humble about that. My bit of stress is always a lot. I'm a stress person and I always try to not be the overwhelmed, under pressure kind of gal. And I do acknowledge it is mostly the pressure that I put on myself. And if we think about that, most of the overwhelm that we feel, most of the pressure we feel really is self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted because we have these kind of people inside of us. I know that sounds weird. Let's dig in a little bit. We know inherently, if you think about it, you have multiple personalities inside of you. No, I'm not saying that you have some psychiatric problem, but we all have different personalities that come out in us, or different pieces of who we are that come out at various times, right? You're not the same person when you're with your small group of very close-knit friends that you are when you're at work doing your job with a bunch of people that are professionals that you work with, right? You are not the same person when you're at home alone with your dog, like I am, as you are when you are out in public, maybe at Home Depot or at the grocery store. Like, we know that we have to be situational when it comes to how we move around in the world, what people see, what our thought processes are. What we focus on is just different. So that lends to having kind of these different personalities that come out at different points, hopefully in appropriate ways, right? Hopefully they match the situation that we're in. Sometimes they don't, and that's fine. We get a little woo. But that being said, we also, in addition to that, we have to kind of peel that layer back a little bit more to see that truly our motivations, the things that move us internally, our values, our beliefs, our desires, our past history, are the things that create those personalities that come out. And there's a why in there. There's a why in there. There's a reason that I act and say these things when I'm in this space. And there's a reason why I act and say these things when I'm in this space. And it's deeper than just, I need to be appropriate in the situation. It's deeper than that. It has to do with our experiences in the world, our history on this planet, our history of experiences with ourselves, with other people, where we come from, how our we always talk about how our childhood was, how our adolescence was, how we were when we got out of the house. What are the things that we took with us, those coping skills, those ways that we learn to experience the world and have value in the world and be safe and okay in the world? We need to kind of crack ourselves open a little bit and dig a little deeper and say, who are those people inside of us that really are the root of who we are on the outside of us and who we are right now? Because if we can look at those things and we can kind of start to have conversations with those parts of us and dig in a little bit, we're going to be better apt to move through the chaos, move through the pressure, move through the overwhelm, and move through our day to day, whether we're having a great day or not a great day, in a better, more authentic way. And when we do that, we can make decisions and choices that better serve us, as opposed to just choosing in the moment without really thinking about it, right? Being authentically ourselves can help us. And it obviously, if you think about it logically, does help us to move through these overwhelming times, these chaotic times, these busy times in a way that we can still take care of ourselves as well as be present for other people. And being present for other people, being present for ourselves, obviously takes care of us. That's a lot. That's a lot. And we're going to dig more into that as we get into this next year. I've been doing a wonderful mentorship, kind of master classes, I would say, on those kind of deeper things that really do cause and create the change that we need in order to be healthier people, in order to have even a better body composition, right? If we can be authentic and understand why we're doing what we're doing and how we are responding to that why in the moment, like I'm responding to it by grabbing cookies, right? Like we need to understand those things in order to move forward, be healthier as human beings, like be a better version of ourselves. And isn't that really what the new year is about? It isn't about being a different person. It's about saying, hey, are there pieces of me? Are there places where I can maybe be a better version of myself in order to have a better experience in this world with the people I interact with myself, right? And that's what we need to think about when we think about moving into 2026 is what is that really going to look like? So before we get there though, and I'm going to do more podcasts on that, but those are coming up, right? That's coming up in the next episode for sure, is looking at 2026 and how can we make 2026 a better version of 2025, maybe leaving some things behind, moving some things forward. But before we get there, we need to be present in the moment. We need to be present in this time of overwhelm, under pressure, chaos, whatever that looks like. And there are some applicable ways you can do this today. Today, you can simply take some steps to feel better, be able to be more present, be able to be more authentic, and not run through the holiday to get it over with and look back and go, I kind of missed it, right? So let's take some of that quote stress away by taking some steps today. There's 5 things you can do today and over the course of the next week or so to help you be a little more calm, be a little more present, and be a little more authentic for what you need and who you are and with the people that you're with. So number one thing you can do today and throughout this time is take 3 to 5 slow belly breaths. What does that mean? Let your shoulders drop. Just like that. Inhale into your belly. In through your nose, down into your belly. Nice, easy exhale. A lot of people, and I find this works for me, you can try it. I inhale through my nose and I exhale through my mouth. But when I exhale through my mouth, I kind of make it look like with my lips that I'm kind of breathing through a straw, pushing the air out through a straw. Those 3 to 5 breaths automatically bring you into your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, the calming space. Automatically. You can hear it in my voice. I am not doing this on purpose. It automatically calms you down. That is something you can do easily in the moment. Another thing you can do, and you can do this without letting people know, like people don't need to know you're doing this. You can ground yourself. And I don't mean take your shoes off and run outside into the grass, which for most of us, there is no grass, there's snow. Don't do that. You'll freeze your little feeties off. But you can ground yourself, but without doing that, by naming 3 things you see. So that's pretty easy. Just look around. 3 things you see, 3 things you hear, and 3 things you feel, like 3 sensations. Maybe you feel the breeze. Maybe you can feel your hair on your cheek. Maybe you can feel your toes moving in your shoes, right? Maybe you see Aunt Janet with her Santa hat on. Maybe you see that giant table filled with all the goodies that everyone has made with love. Maybe you see the snow gently falling outside, right? Maybe you hear You can hear the laughter of the children in the other room playing a game. Maybe you hear the football game on the TV. I love hearing the football game during the season. I don't know why. I don't know why. And maybe you can hear the clanking of the utensils against the plates, right? Those things can ground you in the moment. We're grounding you in the present time so you can be here, present in the moment. Maybe you need to move your body a little bit, right? Sometimes we have to bring our energy levels up to meet our stress levels so that we can bring them down. So maybe you just need to go for a quick walk around the block. Maybe you need to help clean up a bit instead of sitting, right? Sometimes we need to have that energy expenditure before we can calm ourselves and feel less stressed. You can, at that same kind of in that same vein, you can create those intentional pauses that you need. Taking 3 to 5 breaths, that can, that's a pause in your day. That's a pause. Maybe you need to remove yourself to give yourself a pause. Maybe go hang out in the bathroom and do the 3 to 5 breaths. Maybe find a quiet spot where no one is. Maybe you go in the basement, right? And find a spot, just 3 to 5 breaths. Maybe again, it is going for that short walk. Maybe it's stepping outside just briefly, just to be in nature for a minute, to be able to give yourself that intentional pause to kind of bring everything back down into that calm space. And the last thing, that was 4. I know already, that was 4. The 5th thing that you can do is, and this takes a little bit of planning, but practice being unavailable. Practice saying, oh, let me check my schedule before you say yes. I know. So a lot of people say, just say no. No. A lot of us can't do that. A lot of us feel very uncomfortable saying no. It is easier to look at someone, and it's probably more truthful to say, hey, let me check my schedule and see what that day looks like for me, instead of automatically saying yes and end up overscheduling yourself. And then you have no time to be calm and relax and really enjoy this season. Okay. So when we think about stress, maybe that's not the word for you. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you feel under pressure. Maybe everything just feels chaotic. Hey, let me tell you, that's what stress really is. Stress really is a lot of energy going out, not a lot coming in. So if you're feeling that way, 5 simple ways that you can take with you today and use over the next month, 2 weeks to a month, to help you be more present, more authentic, and more calm each day. 3 to 5 belly breaths. Ground yourself by naming 3 things that you see, feel, and hear. Move your body. Create intentional pauses. Maybe you get to listen to music. Maybe you take a little walk. Maybe whatever that is, create an intentional pause for yourself. And if you can pre-plan it, if you think about it, when you're asked to do things, make yourself a little more unavailable. Start with, let me check my schedule and get back to you. That'll give you a little pause, a little time to see if you really can fit things in, or if you need to let someone else do those things. My wish for you today is that you feel a little less chaotic, a little less pressured, a little more calm. Our next episode is going to be about moving into the new year in a different way, without all the pressure, without all the craziness. So we're going to talk about how we can make that happen. This is episode 38. So that's episode 39. I am glad. Thank you so much for being with me today. I am sending you all the joy of this season that you can have, that you can find, and that you can make for yourself. Let's be authentic. Let's give ourselves some breathing space. Let's give ourselves some grace. Let's be in the moment to truly live this holiday season. If you have questions, let me know. Please share this with anyone you know. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place. So if you have questions, hit me with those questions. I would love to answer them for you. And of course, we will see you back here next time on Basics and Beyond, the podcast. Talk soon.